Good evening, Michigan. I hope everybody's week has been the best it could possibly be. I know I just made a trip to the grocery store today, and man, we're really starting to feel those prices. We're really starting to feel those jumps in those prices at the store, aren't we? At first, it wasn't as bad when it came to towns like mine because I live in a small town and it's not nearly as bad when it comes to situations like that. I know bigger cities are affected primarily first, before we are in remote areas up here. But now we're even starting to feel the effects of it here. I went to get hot dogs today at the store, just simple hot dogs to have, and almost double the price for a pack of hot dogs. And it's absolutely insane the things that are going on right now in our country for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And we have to realize that these things are all orchestrated to work against us in conjunction with these lockdowns continuing. No matter what they say, winter's around the corner. These variants, more lockdowns, or the attempt of more lockdowns on a more extreme level, are right around the corner, guaranteed. And as you can see the graphic tonight, the ultimate goal for all of us is we, the people, see the truth. As you can see also, which hopefully soon these shirts will be available for anybody that wants one, in addition to some more designs that are being worked on. But the primary goal tonight is I want to show you guys the reality of what's happening in places like Australia and what's starting to happen in Canada right now. And you guys need to understand that these things are not as far off from us as everybody once thought that they were. These things are here. They're right at our front door. And they're only going to get more pushed into our homes and into our lives every day. This is never going to go away. Ever. People are. This. Think about it. This started off with a 2 week stay in your house, flatten the curve. That's what it supposedly was. And it's morphed into all of this. It's never going to stop. It's nothing but a perpetual machine to put into place everything that they've wanted to do for the last, I don't even, decades. For decades. It's all culminating to right now. And if we don't stand up, if we don't resist against this, that we are going to be doomed beyond anything that anybody could imagine. And I've had a lot of recent posts that I've posted to my page in the last week. And I've been questioned a lot. A lot of people that ask me questions. And I pretty much give the same answer all the time. The things that I give you guys, I don't. There are always aspects of things that I post that I don't necessarily believe. But what it's there for is for you guys. I tell you guys this all the time. It is for you guys to take and dissect and digest and take this information in, because everybody is starving for information. So if you want the information, it's there. Take it. If you want to correct me, that's great. That's fantastic. I always love being informed about something that I may not know about, because that's how we grow. And that's what I try to do for you guys on a regular basis, is try to give you guys the information that you need, or that you may need to look into or look at. And if I ever have things, I state them as either opinionated or factual. And if I don't, then there's a reason for it. I may not, it would take me forever for me to sit back and state all the factual information that I have on every single thing that I post. All the research that I've done on multiple subjects over almost the past decade and a half. It would take me entirely too long. That's why if I post it a certain way, it's meant that way. Or if I post it as a statement, that's the way it's made. It's as a statement. If people go into things and they prove me wrong about certain situations or certain aspects of stories or articles that I've posted or talked about, great, fantastic. I don't get much of that. I don't. I get people that want to accuse me of not doing research, but I usually don't have people that come back to me with facts of their own to delegitimize what I've said or stated or posted about or talked about or whatever the case may be. And once again, that is always welcome because that's how we learn and grow together and are all on the same page with everything. I don't know everything. The person next to me doesn't know everything, and so on and so forth. That's how we grow and adapt in these situations and in times like this. I know that there's plenty of things that thousands of other people know better than I do. Please come in here, jump in the comment section, inform me, message me, contact me on my page. I love to know more things every day. I wake up every day wanting to know more things every day. And that's a big part of why I do what I do for all of you guys, is because I actually enjoy having the information myself in the first place, and giving the information to you guys is just a bonus on top of that, because I know that it needs to be out to the people, because if people do have the information and they do take it into consideration, that it will help a lot of people. And I don't mind trolls. I don't mind hecklers. When you do the things that journalists like myself and Logic and Elliot Truth and Us Against Media, when you do the type of things that we do, that comes along with the territory. You're going to have people that want to discredit what you're saying and what you're talking about or the articles you're posting, especially when you talk about the things like we talk about. That definitely comes along with the territory. But you got to be like us. You got to have facts to back up your nonsense. And if you don't, then you might as well just take it somewhere else. Because that's what we care about in these situations. We want facts. And if you don't have facts, then don't argue them like they are. Don't come at people like you have facts. Because then when they ask you to post about facts, or when they ask you to discuss facts of the matter, and you can't, you end up looking stupid. I just wanted to put that out there for the people that know who they are coming to me in the inbox. Yeah, that's for you guys. But tonight, for the rest of you, we have a couple things that you all need to see. And these are just a couple examples. But everybody needs to fully understand that the few places that, quote, Western civilization exists in around the world, these places are the ones being beaten down so hard right now. If you look at what they consider third world countries, their vaccination rates and such are so much lower than ours. The push for these vaccines is so much lower in these countries. But then you look at countries like the UK and France and Australia and America and Canada, and these vaccines are being pushed to the max, and now we're seeing things like people being wrestled to the ground in Australia and being forced to put a mask on their face when they're out in their own front yard. Absolute insanity. But now the repercussions of these things are coming closer to us. Steven Hashtag do not comply. Exactly. Exactly. Know where you draw your line in the sand. Know where you stand. We need to get this information out to everybody that we possibly can, because these are the things that people need to know about, and these are the things that people need to understand and think about. Some people just want to push this stuff away and have their normal lives and just go to the fact that none of this is ever going to affect them. They're never going to have to deal with these situations, and that's wrong. You're absolutely wrong. You are going to have to deal with the repercussions from what's going on right now in one way or another, whether it's out of your pocketbook, your civil liberties, your rights. No matter what, you are going to have to face this in one way or another. It is going to happen. There's no stopping it. They have found out that they can turn almost half the population of the world against the other half when it comes to things like these vaccines and mandates and vaccine passports and all these other things. They have found what they consider to be their honeypot, that they can turn half of the world against the other half. And that's exactly what they want. They want division amongst us so that we can't see what's going on in the background, what they have their hands in. And it's fantastic anymore because we have so many people that are awake to what's going on and can actually see what's actually at play here. It's not just about America. America is a very big part of this because America is a one-of-a-kind country. That's what makes us so great. Because we are a one-of-a-kind country. Our country is by the people, or is supposed to be by the people. And the more we let them know that we see through all their lies and all their deceit and everything that they're trying to do, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Did anybody happen to catch Bill Gates' daughter's wedding? Happened in New York. It's supposed to be one of the strictest COVID lockdown places in America right now. And not one single person that was in attendance at that wedding. Now, there was part of the staff that wore a mask. That's a whole nother debacle because that seemed, to me, to be completely racially based when it came to the workers at the event. But apart from that, Steven says, I got photos of Seattle squad cars with Gadsden flags hung on them one day prior to their vax mandate date. The people have had enough. Exactly. And they say they're going to bring in the National Guard to do all these jobs. Okay. Sorry. So you're going to have the National Guard come in for nurses, doctors, teachers, and they wouldn't mind. Because then they know they don't mind if you leave these positions. Us walking out of these spots does make a statement. It does make a statement because then they know how much of the population isn't going to stand for anything further that they try to do and what in their agenda and what they have going right now. So those things are as important as ever. And I would never encourage anybody to put their lives in peril or their families or, to go and quit their jobs. But if you feel like your place of employment is going against something that you feel on a personal level, that's your decision as well. That is your decision. You don't have to roll up your sleeve. They may not be the choices you would want to make or the jobs you would want to take, but we do have choices. Every one of us. We always do. But they're realizing how much of the population isn't going to stand for any further extension of what they've already done. So, like I was saying, National Guard, doctors, nurses, airline pilots, teachers, soldiers in general to try to make up for the lack thereof. Uh, all these jobs. You mean to tell me, hey, anybody know the number on our standing National Guard, reserve and active? So are they? That would, to me, that would borderline on martial law, where you're having the military, because you're not going to have enough National Guard members. So, being the people that they are, of course they're going to move into other armed services. So you're going to have the military occupying these things that are these major careers, these major occupations that are supposed to be done by civilians. But like I said, they don't care if you quit these jobs, because then they know who the dissidents are. They don't want you in there. They only want people that are going to go along with the program and go along with what they're doing. That's the only people that they want in there. And this is the reality that we are living in. And to be honest, I always tried on this show to hold back from talking about a bit of this stuff, but with the recent events that have happened in these last months of this administration and how far things have gone and progressed, I just knew that the past things that all of this ties into and the things that are going on now, it was all utmost importance to bring out to you guys. Stephen, correct, attended federal takeover of local and state, or attempted federal takeover of local and state systems. Exactly. They don't care about dual federalism. That's out the door to them. They care as much about dual federalism as they cared about our grand jury. And that was gone forever ago. There's a good chunk of our population that have no idea what a grand jury even is. One of the most powerful tools we ever had as a people. And it's all but non-existent. But to get into the things tonight for you guys, it's hitting really close to home for us now. It's like the title of this episode says. First it was Australia, now they're moving into Canada, which you guys are going to see from this document that I'm going to show you guys tonight. And then it'll be here. And make no mistake about it, they're keeping these things extended for a reason. There's a reason why there's never been anything like this, because this is the time now to implement what they're going to do and the things that they want to see happen in our nations. And there was only one way they could go about it, because what were they going to do? Say that, oh, we want to know everything that you're doing at all times. We want to know who you're traveling to see, where you're going to, how often you're gone. We want to put a mask on you all the time. That wouldn't fly with a good 90% of the world's population. So they resorted to the measures that they are now. We're living in the middle of this. Make no mistake about it. And one of the things that you guys need to see is from this news station in Australia. And like I said, this is just one example. There's multiple. You can click over to any news station from the day that this was happening, and they're all saying the same thing. And there's plenty of these clips. And I'm not talking about George Bush Sr. talking about the New World Order or past things. You can find so many current clips and current documents where this is being talked about, and I encourage everybody to go and find them and to look at Agenda 2030. that was decided on by the entire UN. Super important, super important. We are getting closer and closer to that date. And 2030 pops up in a lot of plans and a lot of financial plans, a lot of green energy plans. 2030 is a reoccurring thing, and you all need to understand why that is. But this is just one clip from the day that all of this started in Australia.
Has the most minimal of symptoms, get tested.
Today is the first full day of the New World Order. Outdoor gatherings are limited to 2 people. Exercise is allowed, but no further than a 10-kilometre radius from your home. Browsing in shops is not permitted. Only 1 person per household may leave to do essential shopping. And from tomorrow, funerals are limited to 10 people.
And the length of this lockdown is up to each and every one of us.
Steve Hart for 10 News First.
Has the most.
Like I said, this all started in Australia. Everything, all these things seem to have a jump start in either Africa or Australia, when it comes to matters of law and matters of medical. Africa being the medical and Australia being the law enforcement experiments. But the other thing that you all need to know and understand about is this right here, which is super, super, super important, because this is just to the north of us. And it's all part of the system. And if you guys don't think it is, then you need to wake up to the bigger picture of what's going on here, because this is going to affect us all. Nobody is going to be safe from this, and you can see it every single day with the further and further that they reach. From the province of Saskatchewan, the minister's order, by order of the Lieutenant Governor and Council, blah blah blah, dated September 13th, 2021, a declaration of emergency has been made for the province of Saskatchewan to address the COVID-19 public health emergency. Now, we've seen a lot of things like this, but this one is more extreme in the fact of what it talks about, of what this gives them the authority to do in what they have declared to be an emergency period, such as authorize or require a local authority to put into effect any emergency plan for a municipality. So they take over the local police force or whatever might be there, assume direction and control of the emergency response of a local authority. Once again, taking control over what the police units are doing in the city or region of Saskatchewan. And there'll be more. You'll be able to watch the news, and there'll be more provinces that this stretches across, and we'll be seeing things like this. We already are seeing things like this in the United States. D, to acquire or utilize any real or personal property that the minister considers necessary to prevent, combat, or alleviate the effects of an emergency. So essentially, they're going to be taking your property or anything that they want from you if they deem it necessary, or what they consider necessary as part of the emergency that they've declared. So what's to stop them from saying that they can have whatever they declare in the entire province of Saskatchewan? If they decide that they're going to deem control of the entire province under law to the government, underneath this, there's nothing to stop them from doing that. Control to prohibit travel to and from any area of Saskatchewan. So they're going to prevent where you go, where you travel, who you go see, just like they're doing in Australia right now. H. Provide, maintain, and coordinate emergency medical welfare, law enforcement, and other essential services in any part, so they get control over, once again, the police department, ambulance services, medical personnel, who is going to get what treatment, where that treatment is going to be adequated from. As you see in I as well, cause the evacuations of persons and the removal of persons or livestock and personal property from any area of Saskatchewan that is or may be affected by an emergency. So once again, being able to just completely come in and take all of the personal property that's yours, anything that they want to do. Appreciate you being here though, Stephen, really do. Make sure you get this out to everybody that you want this information to get to, anybody that you think it could help, anybody that tunes in. Make sure that you help get this information out, because it may not be our country yet, our state yet. We might not be feeling these full effects, but it is coming. Make no mistake about it. The only reason America is last is because we're going to put up the biggest fight. That's the only reason why we're left for last. No, there's no other reason, because they know exactly what's going to come from us, and we need to show them that they're exactly right. That is exactly the fight that they are going to get from America. It goes on to also state, authorize the entry into any building or any land without warrant by any person in the course of implementing an emergency plan. So if they deem that 6, 7, 15 houses in a neighborhood are now being used for whatever reason under their emergency, you don't have a home no more. Appreciate that, Stephen. Always need to get these messages out there to people so that they know exactly what's going on and can stay informed about exactly what's going on. The people up in Canada, the ones that may not even know up there that things like this are going on. K. Cause the demolition or removal of any trees, structures, or crops if the demolition or removal is necessary so they can destroy whatever they want, burn crops, uproot trees, take down any structures that they want if they deem it necessary. We've seen a lot of the things that are coming out of Canada in these last couple of years, so we know exactly along the lines of where that's going to be going. J. Procure or fix prices for food, clothing, fuel, equipment, medical supplies, or other essential supplies. So they are going to fix the prices of what you're buying. They're going to set them at whatever price they deem fit. You want a loaf of bread? $15. In emergency situations like these, that'll be $15. What do they consider an emergency situation? The fact that we barely, especially in these major cities like I was talking about at the beginning of the stream, we're just starting to feel it now in our small towns. So is that considered a state of emergency? To where these cargo ships and these trucks are supposedly not being able to deliver their products. So now you're going to fix the price of the products that we do have still left on the shelves, and it's going to cost a fortune and nobody's going to be able to afford it. I.1, cause information to be collected, used, or disclosed that the minister is satisfied is necessary to prevent, combat, or alleviate the effects of the emergency and for no other purpose. So that means that they are going to limit the information to whatever they want to get out to you, the people of Saskatchewan. Not even speaking to the people of Michigan or America right now. Saskatchewan. You people, our neighbors to the north, This is you. You know, this is, and the people of America don't think that this isn't right next door to us. Literally, this is on our front doorstep. We know, especially in places like California and New York, we know that they're not afraid by any means to implement things like this. The stemming of information, including streams like mine, already to have or not have whatever fits into their agenda is already so prevalent. And we're going to be seeing more and more of that. It's going to get much worse before it gets any better. I know that's something that a lot of people don't want to hear, but that's the bare bones of it. It's going to get so much worse before it will ever attempt to get better. And that's what we have to deal with at hand right now. Conscript persons needed to meet an emergency. Do all acts and take all proceedings that are reasonably necessary to meet the emergency. More duties of the minister. But this should terrify everybody. No matter what country you live in the world, this should terrify everybody that any country in the world, in checking themselves, government checking government, that they would just decide that they're allowed to do these things. If they deem it in their eyes necessary to come in and just lay waste to any acreage or farmland that you might have and deem it property of the country or of the queen or whatever they would declare it for, there's absolutely nothing you'd be able to do about it. Law-abiding citizens, that they could just come in and take whatever they want, give whatever instruction they want to you, give or not give you medical treatment. We've seen this being done in places like Texas in our own country. Prioritization of patients that have been vaccinated as opposed to non-vaccinated. Almost like we're living two complete different worlds. But you know they have to keep tabs on those people that have gotten the vaccines and haven't gotten the vaccines. We already know that's in place as well, based off of the system that's supposed to be voluntary, that your kids' names go into when you get the jab, your name goes into when you get the injection. You all go on that list. Not me, not my family, not anybody I know that actually knows what's going on with these situations. But everybody needs to have this information. Everybody needs to know about these things that are going on worldwide, because it all plays in to the same set schedule. It all plays into the same situation, the same agenda. It's important to keep tabs on things like this because they're coming to our front door next. And don't be naive and think that they won't. That America's too big to touch. We're just the end game. That's all we are. Because they know that we'll put up the most fight. Because we've shown it time and time again throughout history. They know who the hardest people on this world are. And it's us Americans. We've shown it time and time again, and we're going to show them again. We won't let things like this happen in our country. We will not let the government take from us what some of us have spent generations upon generations acquiring and having. Don't let them do this. Don't get these injections. Don't let them quarantine you. Don't obey their mask commands. Don't give in. Don't give them an inch. Keep fighting out there, you guys. We are winning this. Good triumphs over evil in the end. We all know this. We all know it. If you guys want any more information on what I've shared with you guys tonight. If you'd like the articles or any more information on anything that I might be able to help you guys out with looking up or getting a little more into or getting a little more information about, always feel free to hit me up on my messages on here. I'm on Gab as well. I have a small locals account started that you guys can normally see on my main screen right there. Hobson for House. Everything's transitioning right now. Since the whole the incidents with the redistricting and the 5th district being so far away now, everything right now is transitioning over to Minds of Michigan for everything. You guys will still be getting the same information, the same type of content, sometimes even better. Now that I feel that I can speak a little more the way that I want to every time that I come to you guys. But any shares, clicks, likes, Roseanne Lane Lawnstein. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Rosanna Lawnstein. Always love your info. I appreciate that. I really do. Because I always try to give you guys the best information. Lisa Eckstein, hello! I hope I said your name right as well. Sometimes I mess up the pronunciations here. Awesome. And see, you guys, especially when there's guests on here, Christina Caramo was just joining us last week. Especially when there's guests on here. Oh, I did pronounce it right. Fantastic. I love it. Anytime there's guests on here, you guys are always welcome to be in here in the comment section. Anybody that you know that wants to get to know these people a little bit better, wants to get to know me a little bit better, or has any questions, or if there's anything that I might be able to help you guys out with. I do specialize in researching and garnering information. So if there's anything that you guys might want to see discussed in depth on a show or future shows, we can look things up here live if they're really pertaining to what we're talking about for the night. Any suggestions for future episodes that you guys might find important, that are important to you, but we're always listening for what you guys want to hear. And as always, any shares, clicks, likes, follows, Cash App, no Venmo at the moment. I don't do PayPal, but Cash App is up there. That's always super appreciated, never required. Information for you guys here is always on a free basis as far as I'm concerned. But you guys are the best. I appreciate each and every one of you that tune in. Are you on Telegram? I am actually. Let me get this out of the way really quick, since we're not viewing that for you guys anymore right now at the moment. And I can't remember if I had made that under my official stuff that I was doing, or if it was under my personal name on Telegram. Yeah, I am actually. I do have a personal Telegram. It is under my personal information. So that'll just be Ethan Hobson, ETHANHOBSON, same as it is on my page. For anybody that wants to follow me on there as well. I am actually on Telegram, Locals, Gab, Facebook, YouTube. I believe my Gab is Minds of Michigan. I believe I have that switched already. Let's take a look here. Hobson for House. It still is on Gab. That'll be getting changed as well soon, along with everything else. The website and everything to that nature. But yes, if you guys want to follow me on anything, or give me any messages on things that you guys find important. You're always welcome to. Any corrections on any posts that you guys see, because I try to post daily to you guys as much as possible. Any posts that you guys see that you might want the direct links to, never hesitate to message me. Or if you guys know other people that might be interested in the articles and you want to send them to me and they want to message me, absolutely fine as well. I love giving people knowledge, like I said earlier. You know, I love obtaining the knowledge, and it's absolutely nothing at all. It's so enjoyable to be able to bring it to you guys on the other side of that spectrum. But running a little bit over for tonight's episode, which is totally fine. But I'm going to get out of here for the night, you guys, and I'm going to try to get a Wednesday show up for you guys this week as well. What's the Deal Wednesday should be back with you guys this week coming up. We're going to try to get that episode out to you guys really hard, because I've been wanting to get you guys more information on a more consistent basis. But I hope you all enjoy your week that's coming up. And when you guys are out there, it's like I tell you, always make sure that you stay safe and you stay informed.